Swans act as bodyguards for other water birds. They don't even need to be carted into a specific flock. Swans and geese have been seen protecting smaller water birds like ducks and wading birds against predators. Swans in particular make their presence known by either guiding other birds away or standing up to smaller predators with a hiss and a bite. Hummingbirds are famous for their unique flying abilities. Unlike most other birds, they have the capacity to fly backwards, enabled by their specialized wing structure and rapid wing movements. This backward flight capability allows them to navigate complex environments and access nectar from flowers with precision and agility, making them truly extraordinary aerial acrobats. Seahorses have a unique approach to relationships. Their relationships can be likened to marriages. Seahorses are known for their monogamous behavior, often forming lifelong partnerships with their chosen mate. When seahorses find their other half, they engage in a variety of bonding behaviors, including dancing together, swimming in tandem, and even changing colors to match each other. These daily rituals help strengthen the bond between seahorse couples and reinforce their commitment to one another. Fish can identify human faces, and some can even learn to recognize their owners. It's you, the feeder. Next time your trusty goldfish Pete gives you the side-eye, just know he's swimming up to the glass, eagerly awaiting his favorite human to hand out the next meal. Guinea pigs, those fluffy little darlings we love to cuddle, have a peculiar dietary habit. They munch on their own excrement. Now, before you start gagging, let's put it into perspective. These little furballs have clearly adopted a waste not, want not mentality. And here we were, thinking we were the masters of recycling. Here's a jaw-dropping fact for you. Great white sharks boast an impressive array of over 300 teeth, neatly arranged in as many as 7 rows. And if that wasn't enough to make you feel a little nibbled, they're constantly growing new teeth to replace the ones they lose. Eels are found all over the world, but their behaviors are actually shrouded in mystery. We don't know exactly where they spawn or even how they behave when they do. Even with all the tech and knowledge, we've narrowed it down to the Sargasso Sea by using satellites and trackers to follow European eels as they make the journey for thousands of miles for over a year. However, while we know where they go and the raw technical ways they reproduce, their natural behaviors are still unknown. Fascinating adaptation found in some turtle species: the ability to breathe through their cloaca. That's right, some turtles can breathe through their butt. While most turtles primarily rely on their lungs for oxygen exchange, certain aquatic turtle species like the Fitzroy River turtle have developed a specialized cloaca that enables them to extract oxygen from water when submerged. This unique form of butt breathing allows these turtles to supplement their oxygen intake, especially in environments with low oxygen levels or during extended periods underwater. Fruit flies were the first living creatures to be sent into space. In 1947, fruit flies were transported in the US V-2 rocket launched from White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico for research purposes. Fruit flies were chosen for their small size, rapid reproduction rate, and genetic similarity to humans. Their journey into space marked the beginning of a new era in understanding the biological effects of space travel and its implications for human space exploration. The rocket traveled 67 miles into the air before parachuting back to Earth. You already knew that cats drink water by licking it, but why can't we do the same? Well, I mean, kinda can, right? Cat tongues have little hollow spikes that use air pressure to suck and gather as much water as possible, giving them a tasty drink without having to tip a glass into their mouth like we have to. What's even weirder is that these spikes are made of the same material as a rhino's horn. That explains why they're so rough. The maned wolf is a rare creature that mostly lives in South America, and is the last remaining species of its genus, meaning it's not a wolf at all. It actually looks more like a fox walked through a funhouse mirror, giving it long striding legs adapted to open savanna. These maned wolves have a very distinct call, known as the roar bark, an incredibly loud sound to make its presence known to every animal for miles around. Jellyfish are known for their unique anatomy. Unlike many other animals, they lack a centralized brain, heart, or bones. Instead, their bodies consist of jelly-like material composed mostly of water. Despite their simplistic structure, jellyfish have managed to thrive for millions of years. In fact, they've been around since long before the time of the dinosaurs, making them one of the oldest known animal groups on Earth. Did you know that dolphins have been known to rescue humans in distress? There have been numerous reports of dolphins guiding swimmers who are struggling to stay afloat back to the surface, or alerting nearby humans to a swimmer in trouble. In some cases, dolphins have even intervened to protect swimmers and surfers from potential shark attacks. According to Professor Lori Marino, a zoologist, this remarkable behavior is linked to the high intelligence of dolphins. Dolphins are considered to be one of the most intelligent animals on Earth, with their cognitive abilities and their capacity for empathy. Cassowaries are big, violent, and frighteningly impressive birds that can kill with a single kick. They even sound scary, with an incredibly loud long-distance call that is by far the lowest frequency sound produced by any any bird alive today. It borders on infrasound, and some examples are so low that you need decent headphones to hear it at all. This terrifying rumble is so loud in real life that it can shake your very core if you're nearby. If you've seen the movie Leo about an elderly lizard who escapes a terrarium, you'll know Leo is specifically a tuatara. However, a tuatara isn't actually a lizard at all. It's part of the order Rhynchocephalia and the last remaining species of the group. They used to be incredibly diverse in the Mesozoic era, but that was hundreds of millions of years ago when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Nowadays, they're a threatened species, but hopefully they'll keep going and become as diverse as they ever were. The fat-tailed sheep! Sheep in the West often have a pretty classic look to them, but the oldest and most common form of sheep that have been shepherded by humans are these big booty beauties. And I ain't talking about your mums. Unlike European sheep, these are bred primarily for their meat and don't actually produce much wool at all. Their large rumps are where all their fat is stored, so their bodies can stay cool and are great sources of meat. Because of this, their tails are left to grow incredibly long. In fact, they used to grow so long that farmers would make little wooden carts so the tail wouldn't drag along the ground. Pigs are renowned for their high level of intelligence, often ranking among the most intelligent non-human animals. Studies have shown that pigs possess cognitive abilities, putting them in the company of other highly intelligent species, such as chimpanzees, dolphins, and elephants. Pigs' complex social behaviors, problem-solving skills, and capacity for learning make them truly remarkable creatures. The echidna live in Australia, which have had some really intense wildfires recently. Luckily, these critters have a special technique to survive the danger. Their feet and claws are specifically designed to dig, and can actually dig directly down below them, sinking into the ground in under a minute. They then slow their metabolism and wait out the danger until it's all gone. However, they also have really long spines, which are a lot like hair. They're not living tissues, so if they dig down, they can't feel if their spines are covered or not. It's not uncommon for echidna to emerge from the ashes with their spines melted away into a flat plane, as though someone had come at them with a big pair of scissors. Bats are the only group of mammals capable of sustained flight. Their wings have specialized structures that allow them to navigate the skies with remarkable agility and precision. Bats' leg bones are relatively thin and delicate compared to other mammals. As a result, walking is virtually impossible. Instead, they use their legs primarily for hanging upside down while roosting or climbing. The Honduran white bat is probably most known as the species of Rouge the Bat from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. But did you know her breasts are fake? I'm just joking. That's not the fact. Here's a real fact. Did you know they're not an ordinary bat? Most bats hang from trees or cave ceilings, but these bats actually build their own tent-like structures to sleep under by biting the veins of huge leaves around them into a cozy little home. Did you know a hippopotamus milk is pink? Unlike the white milk produced by many other mammals, hippopotamus milk contains a unique pigment called hipposudoric acid, which gives it a distinct pink color. This natural coloring is thought to have antimicrobial properties, helping to protect the vulnerable hippocaudals from harmful bacteria in their environment. Alpaca aren't just cute and covered in lovely wool, they're actually great protectors. It's become common practice now for sheep farmers to bring in a few alpaca to defend the rest of the flock. Since they're so big and are willing to help any similar animal against predators like coyotes and foxes. Axolotl are incredibly cute, but have you ever had one as a pet? Due to the extremely low temperatures that they live in, their cold-blooded bodies have adapted by slowing their metabolism to a crawl. This means their reactions are quite literally mind-numbingly slow. Drop some food in front of them and it'll take a few seconds for it to register that anything has happened at all. There's a million different things I could say about the naked mole rat, but let's settle with the way their society works. It's the only mammal to be widely recognized as having a eusocial society. What does that mean? Their society looks more like a beehive than a rabbit warren. There's queens that produce the offspring, workers that dig and gather food. It's an incredible deviation from what pretty much any other mammal society in the world does. The king cobra is probably the most famous of the bunch, but technically speaking, they're not really true cobras at all. They're a distinct genus and are only connected to the larger family of snakes. They're as connected to true cobras as they are to black mambas or even sea snakes. Did you know that honeybees are not just masters of making honey? They can also dance. That's right, when it comes to sharing the sweet secrets of pollen discovery, worker bees bust out their best moves in a dance known as the waggle. Through these intricate dance routines, bees communicate the location of the finest pollen to their workmates. It's over here. It's over here. It's over here. The pollen is over there. Have you ever heard a baby crocodile's voice? Crocodile parents take good care of their young, so the babies often get very loud when calling for attention. But instead of a growl or a hiss, they sound like little laser guns. It's absolutely adorable. But better not pick one up when it's calling for its mum, eh? Don't know why I went, Sea otters are not only adorable but also incredibly clever. One of their most endearing behaviors is their ability to juggle rocks. These playful marine mammals can often be seen tossing rocks back and forth between their paws. But there's more to this rock juggling than meets the eye. Sea otters have favorite rocks that they carefully select and store in special pouches of skin located under their forearms. These pouches are known as auxiliary pouches, which they use for a variety of purposes. Sea otters also use these rocks to crack open the hard shells of their favorite prey, such as clams, mussels, and sea urchins. The act of juggling rocks also helps sea otters maintain their paw dexterity and keep their hunting skills sharp. Ostrich's eyes are actually larger than its brain. Despite being the largest birds in the world, ostriches have relatively small brains compared to the size of their eyes. While their brains may be smaller in proportion to their eyes, they are still intelligent birds and rely heavily on their keen eyesight to detect predators and navigate their surroundings in their natural habitats. Baby elephants are not only incredibly cute, but also exhibit behaviors that are similar to human infants. One such behavior is their tendency to suck on their trunks, just like human babies suck their thumbs. This behavior is often observed when baby elephants are feeling content, relaxed, or seeking reassurance from their mothers or other members of their herd. Sucking on their trunks doesn't just provide emotional comfort for baby elephants, but it also serves a practical purpose. It helps them develop coordination and dexterity in using their trunks, which are essential for tasks such as nursing, drinking, and grasping objects. Parrots are not only known for their impressive vocal abilities, but also for their unique social behaviors, including the way they name their offspring. Parrot parents give each of their chicks a distinct and unique name, which they use to identify and communicate with them throughout their lives. Once a parrot chick is given its name by its parents, it becomes a permanent part of its identity within the flock. Pallid bats are able to feed on scorpions without being harmed by their stings. While scorpion venom can be lethal to many other animals, including humans, pallid bats have evolved specific psychological mechanisms that protect them from its effects, enabling them to consume these arachnids as a primary food source. Pallid bats play a crucial role in controlling scorpion populations. Some bat species are capable of consuming astonishing quantities of insects in a relatively short amount of time. It's estimated that certain bat species can consume up to 1,000 insects in just 1 hour. This enormous consumption of insects serves multiple purposes for bats, including meeting their high energy demands for flight and sustaining their metabolic needs during periods of activity. Bats also play a vital role in controlling insect populations, particularly nocturnal insects such as moths, beetles, and mosquitoes. By consuming large numbers of insects each night, bats help regulate insect populations, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. The Yeti crab looks ready for a fabulous stage performance, but the frills aren't just for show. That's their dinner plate. They wave their arms through the murky depths across hydrothermal vents, catching any food in their fluff and picking it out with their claws. It's a pretty sweet trick. Polar bears, the largest land carnivores, have incredible appetites and the stomach capacity to match. These predators are known to consume large quantities of meat, with some capable of holding over 150 pounds of meat in their stomachs at once. By consuming and storing large quantities of meat, polar bears can endure periods of fasting and sustain themselves until their next successful hunt. Fish are such a wide and varied collection of animals that many people don't like to classify them in the same group at all. A shark is so completely different to a mudfish, it's almost laughable. However, sometimes even wildly evolutionary distant animals can surprise with how compatible they are, as scientists found out in 2022 when they accidentally bred two completely different fish together and birthed a whole new species called the sturddlefish. Did you know some land snails can sleep for 3 years at a time? While the idea of an extended nap might sound tempting, the truth is that a snail's 3-year slumber is more a result of less than ideal conditions than a deliberate choice. Snails rely on moisture to survive, so when weather conditions aren't favorable, well, they just go to bed. During this period, the snails secrete mucus to protect themselves from dry, hot weather. These slippery creatures never have to worry about eye bags. Relatable. God, kill me now. Every morning, songbirds all sing the dawn chorus, where they sing to the other birds, telling each other about their day, how they're doing, and what's been going on in the neighborhood. Well, did you know that fish do the same thing? It's very recently been found that fish that live in coral reefs make popping, grunting, and whooping noises to each other, and the most calls are made in their own version of a dawn chorus. Did you know that cows are social creatures? It turns out that each cow in a herd tends to have a best friend. This observation was made by researcher Krista McLennan, who noticed that pairs of cows would get a bit stressed out when they were separated from their closest buddies. Surprisingly, this separation anxiety can even affect things like a cow's heart rate and how much milk they produce. Dolphins have a fascinating way of communicating with each other. They use unique whistles, similar to names. Just how humans use names to identify ourselves and others, dolphins have individualized whistles that serve as their personal identifiers within their pods. When a dolphin wants to get another dolphin's attention, it emits its signature whistle, which is distinct of other dolphins in the group. This allows them to address each other and directly engage in complex social interactions, such as hunting strategies, navigating their surroundings, or expressing emotions like excitement or distress. Look who's got a built-in excuse for never hitting the gym. While we humans are sweating buckets during our workout sessions, these adorable fluff balls are chilling like champions because guess what? They don't sweat. Nope, not even a single bead. Who knew being cute came with built-in air conditioning? Jellyfish are strange creatures that are hard to study. So when mega swarms known as jellyfish blooms filled the oceans, it was hard to figure out what to do about it. They may not have centralized brains, but they're not mindless, moving with clear intent in massive swarms, packed so close that they're more jelly than there is water. The goblin shark looks like a living horror, and in the scientific world is called the living fossil. It's the last of the Mitsacurinidae family, which started 125 million years ago. They live deep in the ocean, 100 meters down, with adults growing even deeper, over 1,000 meters into the dark, where no human can be freaked out by their horror movie looks. Female lions, also known as lionesses, are the primary hunters within a lion pride, responsible for around 90% of the hunting duties. Lionesses work together to stalk, chase, and capture prey, ensuring the survival of the pride. Male lions often play a protective role, guarding the territory and pride members while lionesses are out hunting. The giant isopod looks like your average little woodlouse, which they're actually related to. But wait until you see someone holding one. They're absolutely massive. These monstrously huge creatures can be over a foot long. However, just like regular woodlice, they rummage around, scavenging, and really are just big sweeties who pose no threat to people at all. Jellyfish are also some of the oldest forms of creature, with a jellyfish fossil being found last year dating back 505 million years ago. Compared to them, humans have barely been around for an afternoon. Many species of bugs are capable of producing gas or farts as a byproduct of their digestive processes. Due to the minuscule size of these insects and the tiny volume of gas they produce, their farts are generally too small for us to detect with our sense of smell. Cats are often called independent or loners, but that couldn't be further from the truth. They often create vast and elaborate social structures within the neighborhood. Cats have been seen having hangout sessions and even gathering together in great meetings for the local cat community. Younger cats will look to older cats to learn about the world, and they'll even act as security for kittens or cats going through pregnancy. Lion's roar is so powerful that it can be heard from a distance of up to 3 miles away. This impressive vocalization serves multiple purposes for lions, including marking territory, communicating with pride members, and intimidating potential rivals. Green sea turtles are impressive creatures when it comes to their breath-holding abilities. They can remain submerged for extended periods, with some individuals capable of going over 4 hours without needing to come up for air. When sea turtles are in a state of rest or sleeping underwater, they can stay submerged for even longer periods, sometimes exceeding 7 hours. Boo! Jump scare. Sorry, I was just following the example set by moths and butterflies. There are some species that try to blend into their environment with camouflage wings, but if the threat they're hiding from gets too close, too eager, then BAM! Bright colors and blazing fake eyes to spook you away. Guinea pigs are renowned for their social nature. In fact, their sociability is so ingrained that in Switzerland, it's actually illegal to keep just one guinea pig as a pet. The law mandates that guinea pigs must be kept in pairs or groups to ensure their well-being and mental health. To facilitate the pairing of guinea pigs, Switzerland even offers guinea pig matchmaking services. There's nothing like a penguin proposal. Penguins spend ages looking for that special pebble for their love interest to propose. If their penguin crush chooses to accept, they'll mate for life. Now that's commitment. Hummingbirds lay some of the smallest eggs among all bird species, with the smallest ones being no larger than a pea. Despite their tiny size, these eggs contain everything necessary for the development of a new hummingbird. Huskies are known for their striking eyes, piercing blue, deep brown, or even one of each. Having 2 colored different eyes is known as heterochromia and occurs in all sorts of animals, including humans. But in huskies, it's incredibly common. Around 10% of huskies have heterochromia, and with such startling, vibrant eye colors, it's no wonder people are drawn to them. It's a little known fact that kangaroos cannot walk backward. Due to their unique anatomy, kangaroos are physically unable to move in reverse. While they can hop forward with great speed and agility, the hind legs and tail make backward movement difficult and inefficient. Ostriches showing courtship behavior to humans has shown that when a bird has a lot of human interaction from an early age, they can see humans as potential partners and will sometimes even dance for them to entice their potential mate. Ostriches have one of the most iconic mating dances, and they're pretty easy to film because they might be doing it for the humans handling them. Did you know dogs aren't actually colorblind? They just can see red. While humans can perceive a wide spectrum of colors, dogs primarily see the world in shades of blue and yellow. Did you know goats have accents too? According to a British study, these furry linguists have been caught developing unique accents influenced by their surroundings. Have you heard the news, mate? Seems our goat pals have been picking up a bit of the Brummy twang. Am I right, Chucky Egg? Squirrels are known to display acts of compassion by adopting abandoned squirrel babies. No squirrel left behind! Sea cucumbers come in all shapes and sizes, but none are more adorable than the sea pig. Typically, they live over 1,000 meters deep into the ocean, sifting through the seabed and extracting rich particles out of the mud. Much like a pig nuzzling through delicious truffles. Did you know rats and mice are ticklish? These rodents are partial to being tickled and even let out high-pitched squeals similar to human laughter. Sounds like your mum. Wild boar can have some impressive tusks, but maybe a bit too impressive. The babirusa can grow tusks so long that they curl back into their own heads. It's mostly the males with such massive tusks, grown for fighting. But if it gets too long, they can end up getting punctured by their own teeth. Did you know that baby hedgehogs have the most adorable name? They're called hoglets. These tiny baby hoglets are born with soft spines that gradually harden within hours of birth. As the hoglet grows, its spines become stronger and more rigid, providing protection from predators in the wild. Before the spines grow, hoglets are as soft and delicate as a newborn skin. Horseshoe crabs have a reputation of never changing for millions of years. There's fossils from way back in prehistoric Earth that look almost exactly the same as modern-day horseshoe crabs. However, it turns out that that's only skin deep. On a genetic level, they've been changing constantly, just like everything else on this planet. It just seems like they physically fit their evolutionary niche pretty well, and have no plans to change up their style just yet. Butterflies taste with their feet. Butterflies use their feet to detect chemicals on the surfaces they land on. The specialized sensors in their feet allow them to taste and determine if the substance is suitable for laying eggs or feeding on nectar. Did you know that hippos have a playful side? When hippos are feeling particularly joyful or affectionate, they may engage in a behavior known as dancing. This hippo dancing isn't only a sign of their playful nature, but also serves as a form of social bonding and communication within their groups. It's a way for hippos to express their emotions and strengthen their relationships with one another. Did you know sea otters hold hands while they snooze? Sea otters are the ultimate cuddle buddies of the ocean, staying close to their companions so they don't drift apart. Pretty cute. Grizzly bears can reach impressive speeds, with some capable of running up to 30 miles per hour. This allows grizzly bears to cover ground quickly when hunting or pursuing prey, making them highly efficient predators in their natural habitats. For comparison, the fastest recorded human running speed is approximately 23 miles per hour. Beluga whales have big, bulbous heads, but did you know that they're super squishy too? The heads are filled with oil and wax, and are used to direct the sounds they make. The sounds start at the blowhole, and using this big, squishy melon of a head, they change its shape, changing the focus of the sound. Red pandas with their fluffy fur and bushy tails have a clever trick to stay cozy during chilly nights. They use their tails as makeshift blankets. This adorable behavior not only helps them conserve body heat, but also provides them with a sense of security and comfort. Bees are always buzzing around, and sometimes they need a nice rest and a comfy bed. What better bed is there than a lovely soft flower? Bees can often be found adorably curled up with their best friend inside a flower, resting after a long day, holding each other's feet to stay balanced. Did you know a gathering of flamingos is referred to as a flamboyance? This term perfectly captures the vibrant and flamboyant nature of these elegant birds. Flamingos are highly social creatures, often seen engaging in synchronized movements and vocalizations within their groups. Elephants are renowned for their intelligence, but did you know they can recognize themselves in a mirror? This capacity for self-recognition just shows that these majestic creatures possess a level of self-awareness that goes beyond instinctual behavior.